Yo, welcome back to the channel. It is Cino the Dreaded Beast here, and today we're going to be talking about chapter 257 of JJK. And just not to waste time, we're going to dive straight in. So the chapter opens with a flashback between Sakuna and Urarame talking about Yuji. And Urarame is basically questioning who Yuji is and why is he so special. And Sakuna reveals that when he was in the womb, he had a twin, but he ate this twin and its soul began to reincarnate throughout the generations. And the most recent reincarnation of his twin was Jin Itadori, Yuji's father. This makes Yuji his nephew, but if you think of it in terms of cursed energy, twins are seen as the same person. So if we're talking cursed energy, then Sakuna is actually Yuji's father. But after this conversation, we cut back to Yuji versus Sakuna in the present day, and Yuji immediately opens the chapter with 2 black flashes against Sakuna. But this does very little to Sakuna, and Sakuna pushes him back. Yuji then grabs a pillar, and we see these cut marks, you know how you see on a package, appear on the pillar. And Yuji slashes off the middle of the pillar and chucks it at Sakuna. And this is one of the big reveals that Yuji has 2 curse techniques: blood manipulation from Mama Kenny, or from eating the remaining curse womb death paintings, and Sakuna's shrine. But Yuji is still very inexperienced when using curse techniques, so his output is very low and the damage he deals is very low, especially when it comes to Sakuna. Yuji then grabs Sakuna's leg and tries to slash him, but Sakuna quickly counters with a slash of his own to try and slow down Yuji, but it does very little to slow him down, and Yuji continues forward with his attack, landing a 3rd black flash of the chapter. And after this series of attacks from Yuji, Sakuna comes to the realization that him and Yuji have the same curse technique, although it is slightly different in the way that it manifests, and this is probably due to the eras that they grew up in, as well as their personalities, because the personalities of Sakuna and Yuji are very different. Ino then jumps into the fight using his seance technique to create his dragon, as well as going in for a physical attack with Nanami's knife to hit Sakuna with the ratio technique. But this is Ino going up against Sakuna, so you know it does nothing to him. Sakuna slashes Ino's dragon, knocks away Nanami's cursed tool, and tries to grab it with his foot, but he senses Yuji behind him charging up another attack, and Yuji hits him with another black flash. And this kind of pisses Sakuna off and makes him wonder if him and Yuji are on equal footing in this fight. And while kind of distracted in thought, Sakuna is hit with yet another black flash and responds with a slash to the face of Yuji. But we've seen how these slashes affect Yuji, especially at low output. Yuji shrugs it off and goes in for another attack, landing yet another black flash of the chapter. And if Sakuna wasn't pissed before, he definitely is now. As he screams out, "You brat," Ino takes that opportunity to attack Sakuna using Nanami's knife, landing a good clean hit with the ratio technique. And this stuns Sakuna long enough for Yuji to charge up another attack. And guess what it is? Another black flash. And if you lost count, don't worry, I didn't. That makes 7 consecutive black flashes from Yuji in this fight. Or in this chapter, I should say, because if you go back to the previous chapter, 256, Yuji had actually landed an additional black flash, making 8 total. And after this showing, I'm giving Yuji the title God of the Black Flash, because he can just produce these whenever he wants. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching, and if you want more chapter breakdowns like this from me, leave a like and a comment below. And if you want me to cover other series, leave them down in the comments and maybe I'll get to them. But I'll see you on the next one.